her. He had become unrecognizable to her. He had seduced her with lavish, unending compliments about her beauty. Now he denigrated her looks, mocked her age, ridiculed her attempts to stay attractive at 59. 5 marriages and a family that hates you. You want to see how this plays out? I sure do. You want to see how bad this turns out? You hit me. You threaten me, she replied. Enough. You're evil. He had come into the marriage with nothing. She ran a prosperous business. His motive was coming into focus. Divide up the stuff and I never see you again, he wrote. Your choice. He said people he knew in the mafia had contacted him. Long-lost relatives. He warned her, be careful here. Hi, it's Christopher Goffard. If you'd like to support more signature journalism like this, you can join us by subscribing to the LA Times. Our mission is to uncover the truth every day, and we invite you to be part of it at latimes.com/join. That's latimes.com/join. From the Los Angeles Times and Wondery, this is Dirty John. I'm Christopher Goffard. Part 3, Filthy.
Well, the mob always had a presence in our home. My grandfather was a holder, is basically what he was what my dad explained to me, is he held money. And I remember they would roll the $100 bills up and they'd shove them into the shower curtains. It was so funny. I was 12 years old at the time. I'm like, who puts money in the shower curtain rod?
I'm talking to Donna Meehan Stewart, one of John Meehan's sisters. They grew up in San Jose, California, where their Brooklyn-raised dad ran the Diamond Wheel Casino. People came to play poker, lowball, and pan. The kids cleaned the floors and the ashtrays for money. Donna says that what John and his brother absorbed from his father and the men around him was a set of illicit skills, like how to file bogus lawsuits and pull off insurance scams.
This is how you go about doing things dishonestly and cheating, and they taught those boys that. Both my brothers were that way. They knew how to work systems. They knew how to lie.
I'm trying to trace John Meehan's path from his childhood in San Jose to the day he lied and charmed his way into Deborah Newell's life. I'm trying to find out what he wanted to hide.
Growing up with John was hell. Maybe it was just this sibling rivalry, but there was definitely issues with John.
This is John Meehan's other sister, Karen Duvalet. She went to Prospect High School with him in Saratoga, California in the mid-1970s.
He was very popular because of his sports, and he was very good looking, so he was a chick magnet. Had a lot of women. He had, a lot of charisma. He learned at a very young age how to work it. From as far back as I can remember, he was a straight-A student. I think John thought he was smarter than everybody else because everybody told him he was, but he had no common sense. He wasn't groomed to take that and be successful and to help other people and, be grateful that, you were blessed with these gifts. Instead, he was taught to manipulate at a very early age. And that's the fault of my parents, especially my dad, because that's all my dad knew.
She says the family was related to Albert Anastasia, the East Coast mobster who ran Murder, Inc. This is a name you know if you have even a passing interest in mafia history. Reporters called him the Mad Hatter and the Lord High Executioner, and he was famous for eliminating potential witnesses. He died in 1957, riddled with bullets in a New York City barbershop. You might have seen the photo. John and Karen's grandmother did have the surname Anastasi, but I couldn't find a conclusive genealogical link to the mob family. What matters is that John grew up with this as the family lore, and in the way others boast about forebears who are on the Mayflower, John bragged about this supposed mafia pedigree.
And if anybody did anything to John, or, my dad would tell us, you go out there with a stick and take care of it. It's the Brooklyn mentality of you fight, you get even. If you want to get back at somebody, you don't get back at them, you get back at their family. That's where that mafia mentality came in. John was really influenced by my dad, and that's what John locked onto, was the glamour of a mafia family. And it's just, I look at it now and it's just still so weird.
The sisters say their mother had an affair with a casino worker and their parents divorced. At the time, Karen was a high school freshman and John was a sophomore. And that's when, she says, John started to go really bad.
It was a very bitter, it was a very angry divorce. We were the all-American family, 2 boys and 2 girls, and literally one night I came home and it was gone. It was blown up. And he just hated my mom for destroying the family. And I think that is the beginning, of John. I think, up until that point, he probably could have gotten some help if my parents would have stayed together long enough. But, he got caught in the wheel of dysfunction. My other brother was gone. My sister was married, and then there was me. So it was John and I that got kind of dumped.
She says John hated his father, too. His father encouraged him to join the Air Force. She says the Air Force offered John a free ride through medical school, but he didn't want to give up the years of his life.
So here he was, graduated high school, living here and there, working in hospitals as orderlies, and wheeling and dealing, selling cocaine now.
She says her brother was obsessed with the James Bond movies, Sean Connery's Bond, suave and beyond the law with a license to kill. That was the image of himself John favored. He had a customized license plate that said MEE 007.
He actually went to Santa Clara University for a while, but got in trouble all the time. It was just easier for John to just be 007 and to, deal with women